What's up, guys? I realized I never really did a class setup video, and I think now that I have a good handle on the game, as well as what's best, I figured I'd bring one of these in case anyone is still confused on what to run. So I run a Krig and an AK. I found myself using an AK a lot, especially because I'm like 100 ping or more, so it helps a lot to faster time to kill. It's a 4-shot kill opposed to the Krig being 5. You are godlike with the Krig. The Krig is still a fire gun, but that is just what I run. And then I have two 74U classes. These I'll change: one smoke, one flash. If I have to, I'll put one of these cold-blooded if they have a thermal snipe. On GB, thermals still aren't banned. And then I have a snipe, which snipers are incredibly good at this game. If you play against a good sniper, you feel extremely limited in what you're able to peek and how you're able to play the game. I'm not a good sniper, but there are times where I want to pull it out to watch a certain cross, etc. So I do that. Also, M1911 on everything because it is ridiculously strong. So for the Krig, I run Gunfighter. I don't think you get that much from running anything else. I know this is for GB S&D. However, for Variant, you can run 5 attachments and then do flak attack, which is pretty good. I will show you attachments. Either micro stop or mill stop, or microplex or mill stop. It's really preference. I kind of switch back and forth depending on what I'm feeling. The main difference here, the mill stop, although it's a bulkier sight in the sense that it's like thicker on your screen, so to speak, there is less. How do I say it? The viewing window is smaller, so I feel like you can kind of lock on people with like the circular view window, and you can kind of focus on what you're aimed in on better. The microflex, you can see more of your screen, but what actually happens is since it's a wider oval sight glass, it ends up taking up some of your vision when you're hard aiming something. So sometimes you won't really see people right away. Really personal preference though, whatever you want. Like I said, I switch back and forth. Muzzle, this one's up for debate. Some people will only go muzzle brake just for the vertical recoil. I run the higher vertical, but you lose horizontal. I don't think it affects it too much, and I might just be more used to it, but this isn't that important. I would run either muzzle brake or infantry. Quick beams either way. I'm just almost like more comfortable with the one I have now, so not sure if it makes too much of a difference. Barrel, this one I think is really important and kind of a no-brainer. In this game, it went from it moved to projectile from, what is it called? Hit scan, where basically if you're aimed, the game registers, are you aiming on the target, it will hit them if you are. This game moved to projectile with the Warzone integration, so bullet velocity is actually really important, especially on ARs. If you don't have bullet velocity, you will get a lot of hit rate problems because the bullets are now actually flying projectiles, so if like a sub player is strafing, you really want the velocity to connect as fast as possible with them. Steady aim lasers, just because it's GB, some sites have it banned. You're also not allowed steady aim laser in Variant, but that's a huge bonus, honestly. It's not like ride or die, but it does come in handy plenty. Grip, I run Field Agent. I was kind of tweaking a little bit with the speed grip for the sprint, but you really just want, with an AR, you want to be a sentry turret. You want to just stay still and just have really good recoil control. Sorry, I needed a drink of water. This is pretty much the only one you should be running. I think shooting move speed goes down, but when you have an AR, you can't move much anyway. With the speed grip, you do get sprint move speed, but you lose basic move speed, which actually kind of hurts you a lot, so I think this is the best one. Magazine, I think in Surge, 40 round is a no-brainer as well. Some people will run jungle style, but I don't think it makes much sense in Surge, because you can go a whole round in Surge without ever reloading. And on an AR, that's pretty important. Reload time can really screw you. This game's a lot about control of the map and trades, so I think just having a higher flat round is better. You really don't want to lose anything that these ones lose you, like aimed on sight time, so standard 40 round. For the handle, I run Airborne Elastic Wrap. I think the 30% aimed on sight time is the most important. I also, even though there's not direct flinch in this game, it's just a visual thing. I think having the flinch resistance helps a lot, and I'm still an old school gamer and drop shot here and there, so kind of need the drop shot. But I think this is just the best one, just for the flat ADS time. And last one, Raider stock, also a no-brainer. You lose hipfire accuracy, that's kind of counteracted with the laser. You want the sprint to fire time, and you want the aim walk move speed. Um, those just feel really good. Definitely the best stock. Now go to the AK. AK is almost exactly the same. I run this one, the high vertical, low horizontal. Some people will run muzzle brake. Barrel, same thing. Absolutely need bullet velocity, laser, regular Spetsnaz grip, 40 round, and then same thing here, aimed on sight time and sprint to fire time. Now for the 74U with GB variant, the big thing is you're allowed task force, and I know a lot of people shy away from task force, especially early on, because the recoil is crazy different. But the headshot multiplier with task force is just so strong. If you run it for a while and then take it off, you really notice how much it helps your time to kill. You aim in and snap on someone on a heady, it doesn't matter if there's recoil or not. If you have a good initial aim, you will just melt them, and it's really important. Not to mention, you can also just kind of get used to the recoil control. I'm almost programmed now to just hold my right stick down a tiny bit. I'm not the best with it, but I play predominantly sub, and I would highly recommend learning it. If you're not going to run task force or you're playing variant, I think you should just go extended for the small velocity. I think the reinforced for the higher velocity, you really don't want to lose aim walk move speed. The biggest bonus of a sub is the strafing, and you want to be strafing in and out, making ARs dodge shots, dodge AR shots, etc. Muzzle, I just run Spetsnaz comp, same thing, high vertical. Some people would argue that because you don't want to lose horizontal because it's random, but I find, to me, I like that one better for whatever reason. I don't think this game's very true with its statistics. Speed grip, also a must. You really want to move around map fast with a sub, especially sprinting. With a sub, you're going to be in and out of slides, shouldering, etc. So sprint speed is incredibly important. Same thing for the handle and stock, just the last two, aim down sight time and sprint to fire time, incredibly important. Same thing, I have the same class here, and I pretty much run flak if I'm running just one perk. For perk 2, this should actually be Earhead. I took it off for variants. The only thing I would recommend not running, which I did for a while, is Scavenger. You don't really need it in Search, and I'm pretty sure you can be hurt picking up ammo, so I would shy away from it. Just run Assassin. It is weird on your minimap, but it's just a placeholder, essentially. If I'm running a secondary perk 3, I mean, you obviously need Ninja. Gung Ho is really important, especially on a sub. Being able to sprint and throw your equipment is huge for smoke rush routes. You don't want to lose any of your momentum, and in this game, you actually gain speed over time while you're sprinting. So that's pretty important. I guess M1911 I will show you. I run just this small vertical recoil. I run Task Force for, once again, the headshot multiplier. You don't actually get a 12% damage boost, but your headshot multiplier goes up, so if you snap on someone's head, they will die in 2 bullets. Steady aim laser, 12 round, and then the final speed tape for aimed on sight time. Another thing I will touch on, they just made it so you can only run 2 smokes on your team. Smoke is by far the best tactical you can use. You can one-way it, you can cut off a lot of angles. Really, really important. If you are not running a smoke on your team, I think flashbang is so much better than stuns. Even when someone doesn't have tac mass, stun does literally nothing, but flashbang gives you a bigger information area. To be fair, tacticals, especially with trophies, and only having one, and everyone having tac mass, you really only want to run tacticals for information. So flashbang gives you the most information. When you throw it in a room, you can confirm whether someone is in there. And then, yeah, if you can run a smoke, especially important on subs because you want to be rushing a lot. Just make sure you communicate with your team. I'm not the best sniper, but sniper, I'll show you real quick. Stabilizer, Tiger for the damage, and speed grip, just because I hate moving slow in this game. And then same last 2 for these, aimed on sight time and sprint to fire time. I think that is pretty much it. Some people can run MP5 if you like, which I'll show you. Honestly, all the subs are somewhat viable. MP5 got nerfed to the ground. It's still really good close range. It was my favorite sub at first. I would pretty much run this, speed grip, and then the last 2. So the last 2 on handle and stock almost always. Speed grip, barrel, you do not want to run task force on this because you are not hitting people in the head. The MP5 is extremely close range, and you just want the little bit of velocity. You don't want to lose the thing, and then just the recoil control. That's pretty much it. If you want one for variant, I've been playing a lot of Hardpoint. It is entirely different, and I can do that as well. I guess last thing for lethals, Semtexes over frags. There are some cheeky frag pre-route, like pre-nade routes you can do, but it's not like other CODs. Semtex is really good because they don't actually hit. The fuse doesn't trigger until it actually hits something, so you can throw them just as far as a frag. They're also really quick to throw. You don't have to cook them, etc. You just want to throw frags quick for info, pre-nade, an angle, etc. So, yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I got my Twitter back, so at NadeStorms. Hoping to get some better internet, and when I move out soon and start streaming, hopefully grind a lot of tourneys. So, all right, fellas, I appreciate it.